Former President Trump is expected back in a Florida court today. He's asking the judge to throw out the charges in the classified documents case against him. Trump's attorneys argue the special counsel's use of the Espionage and Presidential Records Act is unconstitutionally vague. Smith calls the motions to dismiss another example of Trump believing he is above the law. Let's bring in Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas outside the court in Florida. Executive editorial producer John Santucci and ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer for more. Pierre, what can we expect from this hearing today?
Well, this will be a fundamental hearing where two points of view are at odds. Trump maintains that as president, he had the authority to simply make all these classified documents his personal documents. In other words, they were his. He's also saying that he's being prosecuted under the Espionage Act in a way that's vague as it applies to presidents. Now, the special counsel, Jack Smith's office, is going to make a very strong case in their mind that Trump is acting as if he's above the law. They maintain that these records became the property of the U.S. government when Trump left office, that they, in fact, should be in the government's retention. And they maintain that many of these documents were of the highest nature in terms of sensitivity and classification, and therefore should not have been put at risk. The bottom line is they say the case should proceed. Judge Eileen Cannon will hear the case today, and we expect not a ruling today, but we may get some hints as to how she's feeling about the different arguments being put forth in front of her.
Brian, walk me through the arguments here. Why are Trump's attorneys saying that the Espionage Act and the Presidential Records Act shouldn't apply here?
So first, the Espionage Act. What the president and his team is saying is that there's some ambiguity in the language of that statute, specifically the unauthorized use when it comes to the former president's ability to declassify documents. They point to a very old rule. We call it the rule of lenity. It's basically like the tie goes to the runner being the defendant here. If there's ambiguity in a criminal statute, you should give more leniency to that of the defendants. The other issue is with the President's Record Act, where they're saying, well, it has language as to why it could be civilly applied, but it doesn't appear there to be any language as to why there should be criminal prosecution from it. And what they're saying is where the Congress or the legislature does not create that criminal activity, a person cannot be on notice on it, and therefore the courts are overreaching in saying that you can be criminally charged based on the Presidential Records Act. But Jack Smith is saying, no, it's pretty clear, like, these are crimes, and you knew that.
John, Trump doesn't have to be in court today, so why show up?
Oh, because this is what we're doing now. I mean, the reality is this is Donald Trump's campaign style, right? We're not going to diners, we're not going to see supporters, we're going to a courthouse. And it's funny, from people on our team that have seen Donald Trump in this courtroom, because now, as we all know, we've done this a lot over the last year, this is a courtroom, Donald Trump, his persona is a little different because he likes this judge. I mean, Eileen Cannon has gotten the label of a Trump judge. It's not a good thing for a judge, as Brian could tell you far better than I can, but the reality is she has ruled in his favor before. She is the one that has the ultimate decision of what happens with this trial. At the moment, it's scheduled for May 20th. That's just not a real date. They haven't gone through any of the necessary easy processes to get there, right? Still a lot of discovery to go through, a lot of motions. If she sets this date for any time post-November, it's a win for Donald Trump.
Pierre, what are you watching for as the hearing gets underway today?
Again, how effective will Donald Trump's attorneys be in terms of making the case that these were personal records? That's kind of the fundamental issue. Donald Trump is saying he had the authority when he was the commander-in-chief, before he left office, to do what he wanted to do with these documents. And the special counsel's office position is that that's just not the case. And we just need to find out, does Eileen Cannon buy that particular argument? That's the fundamental issue that we'll be watching for today.
Pierre Thomas, Brian Buckmeyer, John Santucci, thank you all.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.